know when you do that and like there's the frequencies sort of meet and it does this thing.
Yeah, it's when it's like
it's when it
semitone apart.
spins.
Yeah.
Oh, do it
It's like when it's, you do that and I'll do semitone.
That's so weird. Oh. Hello, I'm Megan Rowe, and this is the Girls That Gig podcast. Joining us today, I have a special co-host, Gemma Freese.
Yeah.
Gemma has been my friend for about a year, and you're in a band with me. We're in a pirate band.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Gemma.
Are we?
Come on, get with it, love. And yeah, Gemma's just a fun, chill chick. She plays keys in her trio, and you also sing.
Yes. That was me singing earlier.
Oh yes, we were doing a bit of singing, so I hope you enjoyed that. Our guest today is Lara Jones. Woo! And you play the saxophone in a lot of different ensembles.
Uh-huh.
Will you tell us about what you're doing? Like, what are you involved in at the moment?
Right. So, saxophone. So, I play lots of different genres. I study on the jazz course, but I originally studied on the classical course.
Okay.
So, I have 2 saxophone quartets. One is Aura's quartet. The one I've played with them for 3 years now. We gig quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one is a fairly new one, Linus quartet, or it might be Linus quartet. I don't think we've ever quite agreed how to pronounce it yet. That's fairly new. That's with some people that graduated a few years ago.
Okay, cool. And what sort of music is in each one? What are you playing?
So with Aura's, we for the first few years we were an exam ensemble. So we learnt a lot of like quite intense classical rep, things that were like quite difficult and really like worked on technique and helped us to really understand each other's playing. And then this year it was no longer a college ensemble, so we were like, right, let's just like get some function stuff together. And now we've just got this like whole like pack of rep, which is just go from like we play some like Michael Jackson to like, you know, to all the way up to like Debussy and like tangos
sweet.
and stuff.
That's
so
cool. Do you do a lot of functions then? Do you do
we have done like really we just try and like market ourselves as an ensemble that can be used in like any environment, any situation, and then we'll learn the rep that's like required for that
that's cool.
setting. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So adaptable then, you're trying to be adaptable.
Yeah, definitely. And like saxophones are, so you can do like trad jazz, you can do like some of the pop stuff, and then some of the classical stuff can be quite exciting because it, you know, we'd take like string quartets but like put it on saxophones. So there's that, and then Linus quartet is pretty much more, I'd say, like it's very classical.
Okay.
Most of the rep is sort of, you know, more standard.
Which do you prefer out of the music to play?
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to ask about which quartet I prefer. It's like, controversial. I would say I pretty enjoy the stuff that's sort of less classical, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why have you kept up Linus or Linus then?
Just because it's like it's really good for your technique, it's good for your sound. Like, it's good to like play with as many people as you can, and it's great to play with those people anyway. They're incredible musicians and much better than me, and I always feel like it's important to play with people that are better than you. And just it's just more gigs, isn't it? Money.
Yeah, that's great. Definitely. Yeah, you've got to have your finger in every pie with the music industry. You can't be doing just one band. Like, no one does that, do they, really?
Definitely not.
Yeah, you've got to be in there. Oh, before we were talking about this, I wanted to bring up, what is your sort of routine after a performance? When you come off stage, what do you do? Because you were talking about what you did.
Yeah, I was saying that after a performance, I feel awkward on stage when I'm not performing. When I'm performing, it's fine. It's when I stop, that's not fine, so I'll just run off stage. Maybe I go to the toilet. Maybe I just like sit down and don't look at anyone. So yeah, how do you feel after that?
I always do this really weird thing where I like salute with like the saxophone, which people find really funny. And then I just go straight to the bar, to be honest, and get a drink.
Fair.
Okay, yeah,
that's cool.
That's really my vibe.
That's a good answer. I mean, I know you said you avoid eye contact. I think I do as well, because I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm a bit embarrassed, but sort of like,
It's really weird, isn't it? Because I always feel like a completely different person when I'm playing and performing.
yeah.
And then you stop and you're like, oh shit. Like what do I do now? And like some of the music that like I do, especially like all the free improv stuff, it's like so personal. Like you can't like it's a really like honest version of yourself or whatever, and then you stop playing and you're like, shit, I've just like given
you just
this
exposed
version
yourself,
I've given this
basically.
version of myself to these people, and now they're all looking at me and it's just like let's get the beers in.
Yeah. That's what I need to do. That's what you need to do. Head straight to the bar.
Head straight to the bar.
Just
Yeah,
with confidence, be like looking, giving the guy eye contact as you're walking
It's like,
towards the
please
bar.
help me.
Um,
We'll talk about that piece that you've done. It's kind of
Oh,
free
yeah.
jazz, new music one.
it's called Persistence of Memory.
oh, persistence of memory.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
listening
wow.
to that today,
Yeah,
and
same.
because I wasn't at the performance, I was listening to it thinking, wait, what is this? This is definitely not just one saxophone. What's going on here?
Yeah, so there's all part of FinPack, which is like a festival of sort of new music and like technology, and there was like a lot of conferences. There was like performances, and then conferences and like people like discussing like work and stuff. A lot of very intelligent people were there, a lot of composers. And I played at Key Club, James Stevenson's piece, Persistence of Memory, and the whole idea is that you record a week before the final performance, right? And then you perform. It was 3 days or 2 days before the final performance, and you have to try and remember what you did the first time, right?
Ooh.
And then these two tracks get merged together, and you can never hear what you've played. And these tracks get merged together. So Paul Abbott did like the electronics and like kind of manipulated the sounds a bit. And then final performance, that's the first time I ever hear what I've done, and I have to play as close to what I can remember as possible, but it's obviously all improvised. I am given a score, so it was worked on like a time basis. So it was like the first 20 seconds I could play these pitches, and then it like built up, and like the middle section, you can also, you probably remember it went a bit sort of mad and crazy. That was like, or you could use whatever pitches you wanted, and then it sort of worked its way down to like 3 pitches again by the end. But you could do whatever you wanted with these pitches, and it didn't. The composer sort of said to me, it doesn't matter if you sort of stray from the pitches that are on the.
That's
on the
so
score.
cool.
It's
I
like
didn't know that. That's really
No.
interesting.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell if it was improvised or if you were reading the score just from listening to it. So
Yeah,
it sounds
no,
like it's like a structured free improv.
Yeah,
kind of like that?
structure
Yeah.
sort of free improv. Yeah, everything was improvised, and it was really interesting because James played me a version that I think he had played, and it was entirely different to what I did. It was like it was just a completely different thing, because what someone might do with 3 pitches, I'm going to do something like completely different. And it was so weird, because I remember the second time I did the performance, the recording, so it was like 2 days before the performance, I had a really long day, and it was like I was so tired. It was really late we were recording, and I think I was like a bit pissed off at something as well.
Yeah.
And like it was so much more angry than like the first time I did it. Do you know what I mean? So it was like it was completely dependent on how you're feeling. We did like a dry run of it, like 2 weeks before the actual thing, where we did all 3 recordings in one day, and that performance and that recording is completely different to the final one, because obviously how you improvise and how you feel is like completely interlinked.
Wow.
Very honest though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's really cool. That's before
intense.
I was listening to it, and Elliot said it's like the jazz version of like noise rock.
Yeah.
The sax version of
Yeah,
noise rock.
definitely.
And it so is like, I find it really cool.
It's
How do you
definitely very out there.
Yeah.
I guess it's kind of something that people maybe need the story and like the concept of the piece to really understand and like engage with it. I think I can't imagine many people just turning it on and listening to it and enjoying it. Maybe
Definitely makes a lot more sense now. Like,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna listen to it when I get back and be like, oh my god, this is so cool. I just wanted to ask you about we talked about what you do when you come off stage. What about before? Do you have a routine? Do you have any sort of things to deal with anxiety that you do? Because I know we all have a bit of anxiety before we go on stage. What would you say?
So I used to get really nervous when I went on stage, stuff like that. Like, you know, when you first start sort of doing that thing. And I can't remember who it was that told me, but they said you have to convince yourself that you're not nervous. So every time you feel nervous, you have to just tell yourself no. And anytime someone asks you, are you nervous? You have to tell them no.
Yeah.
So you literally, you get yourself in this mindset and where you could literally convince yourself that you're not nervous.
That's clever.
So I just do that. So
Yeah.
in my head, I'm just like constantly just like telling myself that I'm really excited and I can't wait to get on stage.
Yeah.
And like anytime, you know, you feel like feeling in your stomach where you like you might feel a bit nervous. I'm like, nope, I'm not nervous. I'm so excited. I'm gonna like go and play and like do my thing and like I'm just like trying to get in that mindset.
That's really cool.
That's
I
what I do.
think I need to do that more.
That's healthy. I definitely don't do that.
Oh.
And if you do it for long enough, like, so I've done that for like years now. Like now, I actually don't think I do get nervous. I definitely get like adrenaline.
Yeah.
But I think I've done it for so long, and like I think I've actually convinced myself
Like,
that
so
I
you
don't get
trained
nervous.
yourself.
I've like trained
Yeah.
myself that like I don't get nervous, even though like I probably do. It's
Yeah.
like it's all a mind game, isn't it? Music's
Definitely,
all in the
definitely.
head.
Yeah, like, I only feel like this year at the stage where I can go on and not be shaking, like really shaking. Like only this year, I think, like over the
Really?
past 6 months, I've been like, yeah, I can do it, because I just feel, I think
Definitely.
I feel more okay with like what I'm actually performing, like my music. I'm like, this is me.
Yeah, you
and I
found
go
people
on.
more similar to you.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm like, I don't really feel nervous because I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. Like,
I think that is so key. Like I definitely get nervous playing like standard jazz because I don't feel like that's necessarily me.
yeah.
But then when I get up and do something that I'm like really comfortable with, or that I really know or I feel is like something that I really engage with, then I'm less nervous. Because I saw
Yeah.
you perform at that Women in Music Day, and
Oh.
I literally would not have thought you were nervous at all. Like you were just like rocking out, and I was like, who is this chick, man? She's got this down.
Oh, sweet. Oh, that's so cool. I remember coming up to the back and being like, hey, you and Lucy Rick. I was like, oh, hey guys,
Yeah.
my ladies.
With your little shoes.
Yeah, oh my god, my shoes. Yes, I wore some bright, they were silver shoes with a bright blue light on the bottom
Yeah.
for
Nice.
the gala, and it was so funny. Like,
Oh, the gala. Yeah.
everyone's just like, what is she wearing? OMG. But Gemma, you've not spoken about, do you get nervous before you go on stage?
Yeah, I do the complete opposite to Lara. I think I'm like too honest.
Too
so
honest.
I'm like,
Okay,
I
yeah.
analyze what I'm feeling. I'm like, okay, I feel sick. Yes, interesting. And then I definitely don't. I refuse to drink any alcohol. That's like my number one.
Yeah,
thing.
no, I don't
Okay.
drink. I
Yeah,
don't drink
I
before.
Oh,
really
don't think-
refuse.
yeah.
Never.
I drink. I would. I'd have
Yeah, you
one
can
or
tell.
two. But I think with me though, it's very easy for me to do because you're stood up or on your guitar and it's like this. It sort of looks, when you move more, it looks way better. So if I'm drunk, it's like, it looks better sometimes. But obviously for you, you've got a lot to think about if you're doing the singing as well and you're playing
Yeah.
the keys. You've got a lot to do. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Can't just zone out.
I see what you mean, girl.
Yeah, and then yeah, I think that's it.
That's it. That's your routine. What about right before you go on? What's your
Oh,
think?
yeah,
What's
yeah,
your
well,
last thought?
Like, all my last thought is, the second I start performing, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Like I am the most comfortable when I'm performing. That's like
yeah.
Yeah,
I know
completely
I know
agree.
that like the first chord I play, I'm fine.
Yeah.
So-
Oh, okay. It's just getting past that first chord.
Yeah. Just that first
Oh.
crazy chord.
I'm sure you don't come across as nervous. So, yeah, that'll go. That'll go. Okay, I wanted to ask you about your time in the studio
Okay.
because I saw you'd work with Nathan McGill. who-
Yeah,
I know
yeah.
Nathan and Ginny. They're so cool. That
Yeah,
little
man.
production couple.
Yeah.
What was it like?
Oh,
Because I haven't actually worked with them. I've only really spoken to them as friends. Like, what was it
Mhm.
like?
It was really chill. I mean, I went in with my band that I was doing for my recital,
Mm.
and we sort of worked on this tune around midnight, and it was just like one of my favorite tunes ever. It's really beautiful.
Yes.
And it was a bit weird because we weren't told how long it needed to be, so it was too long, and we had to
Okay.
like keep cutting it down. So the final version is like a completely different structure. So like what
Oh.
we'd rehearse, what we usually do and stuff. And I think we were all sort of like trying to find a way to. It basically had to be 3 minutes long.
Right.
So we were trying to like cut this tune down like to this so it could be the right length for their
Oh,
assignment
yeah,
or
I
something.
see.
But no, it was really nice. It was really chill. Yeah, it was good fun.
Awesome.
Did you have to cut solos? Did you have to cut
Yeah,
any
so
solos?
essentially, like originally it was I play the head through, and then there was a bass solo on. It goes AA BA, so there's a bass solo on AA, and then we start the form again. I solo AAB,
Okay,
and then
yeah.
I played A out as the head.
Okay.
But we completely changed it. So I did this like free thing at the beginning where I sort of played the first A sort of really like just loosely and just did what I wanted with it. Then played A again, and the band came in, which was quite nice actually. I sort of wish I did that in my exam, but anyway. Then they came in, and then we did A again that I soloed over. So there was like 3 A's, and then the B section, and we did this nice thing. The first 4 bars of the B, the guitar takes the melody, and I sort of play the melody as,
I
as
heard that in the
well. So it's
recording.
that kind of like a call and response thing. Then just like played the melody out.
So it was like almost this recording session was like kind of created a different.
Created this different structure and different things, and actually it was really nice. I thought it was it was quite a nice version of it, and it was quite nice to be like free with the melody and actually really focus on the melody and like less
Rather
about
than
just
solos.
being like this big like solo thing.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it was really nice, and they were really nice guys to work with. I can't remember all the names of the people, but there was quite a few of them. I think they were all in like a production group.
Oh,
Or
okay.
something.
Cool.
But they were all really lovely, and yeah,
Awesome.
I thought they made a really nice sound as well.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to get saxophone right on a recording sometimes, like the sound. I've had a few people do it, and every time it comes back really different, and I always sort of wonder like, what do I actually sound like?
That
Yeah.
was really hard.
Yeah. You
But-
will get a different sound. It's all about the mics and the placement.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
they really need to have a good idea of what you want, and like they need to know the best mics to use. So it is really important getting the right producer. But it sounds really good.
Well, I really liked the sound that they created. I thought it was really nice.
You should definitely record with them again. It's really good.
Actually, me and Nathan were talking, and I think he wants to do some stuff with the more like sort of free improv thing that I do and that. So we're going to work together over summer, and might show him some of the stuff I'm writing, and then see where it goes.
Great. Probably one of the last things I'm going to ask, but how do you get in like the mindset for recording actually in the studio? Because I am so bad in the studio. Like, I'm fine when there's an audience there and it's like you sort of connecting with people and it's like you really go in for it. I find that really easy. But when it's in the studio and there's no one watching and it's like you're just in there with a few mics and some equipment, it's like a lot more dead. I find it a lot harder. Like, do you guys
I
have
find
the
like
same?
it's the same as what we were talking about earlier, like in exam situations. It's like quite a fake environment. You know, it doesn't feel real, and so much of what I play, or what anyone plays, sorry, is about like how you feed off your audience and what you're giving to your audience. And then you're sort of in this room, and I like that recording that I did. They put a screen in front of me, so I couldn't actually see my band.
Oh no!
So I couldn't even like see the people that like I'm playing with, and that was the only thing that I could have like maybe like fed off, and I couldn't even see them. So I think I just closed my eyes and just like imagined that I was in like some setting where I was like performing this live in like some venue.
That's
some
what you
little
need to
jazz
do.
club or whatever. But yeah, I definitely find like recording can be really difficult in that sense, that you know you're just in this like this weird environment. It's so fake. I much prefer like live recordings, like Persistence of Memory, that was live. So I feel like you really get the vibe.
Yeah, definitely. How about you, Gemma?
Well, for singing, light off, that works best for me every time.
Okay.
And I don't like it when you can see the engineer or the producer.
Okay.
So
Does that put you off?
yeah.
Yeah. If they're pressing buttons, they're going.
Yeah. I think it's different because the stuff that you do is almost quite improvised in the way that you mess with like pedals and stuff like that. So in a way, it's like improvisation. If you've got no audience, then there's no tension or there's no silences. And
yeah, it's definitely a bit more difficult. Okay, I've got one final question. That was really interesting. Like, I like hearing about all the sort of like routines before and after, and like in the studio how you find it. But this is sort of a bit more about you. Your tattoo on your arm. What's it about? What does it mean?
Can you describe it first?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a clock it's all black. It's a clock that's broken and there's a bird flying out of it.
Ooh.
But what people don't notice, and what I really like about it, because people don't notice it, is that all the numbers on the clock, they're Roman numerals, but they're all in the wrong order. Right? So people always ask me, like, oh, why that time on the clock? And I always say to them, I put my arm out and I say, well, look at it, look at the clock. Like, it's actually not a time, because all the numbers are in the wrong order. And essentially I have this whole thing that people find really funny, whereas I don't believe in time, right?
Ooh.
So there's this whole like space-time like continuum thing that like Einstein believed in, that where essentially like past, present and future all exist as one. And like I basically believe in that, and that like time is an illusion. I feel it's something that we've created as like a construct and this thing that we live by that doesn't actually exist. It's not actually this like tangible thing. It's just something that we live by, like to create some kind of routine. And like I just don't understand it. Like when someone says like, I don't know. I just don't understand the concepts of time at all. I just don't get it.
That's really interesting.
So the whole idea is it's like a broken clock and then a bird flying free of it. So it's the idea of like breaking free of like those constraints and like society.
Wow.
And it all sounds really wanky. I can't explain it without
really
sounding
cool.
like an absolute knob. But like that's essentially it. So I usually have this watch on. It just broke actually, and I'm really sad about it. But it was this watch that my friend bought me years ago. And it has like a map on it. And I used to set it to the wrong time. People used to say like, you know, why is your watch set to the wrong time? And I was like, well, why is that the wrong time?
That's so cool.
Do you know what I mean? Like why is the time that we say it is the time? Like it was all just this like fake thing. And then it stopped ticking, and I still used to wear it. And they were like, why'd you wear it? And I was like, well, I don't believe in time anyway. And then the strap broke, and I just don't know what to do with myself.
That's so cool. And I didn't expect that sort of answer.
Destroy itself because it
but
doesn't like it.
some people just look at it and they say, oh, time flies.
Oh,
okay.
See,
so
that's just
like
cheap.
Yeah.
Nah, it's a lot more.
There's a lot of meaning to it, and it's a mockingbird as well. The bird on it, because To Kill a Mockingbird is my favourite book, and like,
wow.
that's I remember it's like the first thing I read that made me like really sort of question life, and like sort of start to like understand like the way in which people think and stuff. It's all about have you read it? To Kill a Mockingbird?
I've read it.
I haven't read it.
A lot of people did
I've heard
GCSE,
about it.
but like
I should have read it.
it's all about like Atticus says like a lot of times like you've got to like walk in people's shoes to like understand their story and stuff like that. Yeah,
that's just
It's
really
quite a
nice.
classic book.
That's a really nice little story for the end of our podcast.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Sorry for sounding like an absolute wanker.
Oh no, it's been really nice.
I don't believe in time.
I wish. We can have you on again. It's been really nice.
Yeah,
just
man,
chill
definitely.
in this room with all these fairy lights.
Do you know what?
and
This
stuff.
would be such a good space to meditate in.
Do you know Sif does?
Does she?
Legit. Because it's so quiet. It's all soundproof. She does.
Why can't
meditate
can I
here.
put this room out?
No, but Gemma will book it for you.
Oh my god! Like literally, I would love to just sit and meditate, and then put on like some drone, like play some like weird saxophone stuff. Like,
You should. Well, to be honest, I looked on that computer and the last file opened was this podcast.
Oh really?
So I don't
it
think
means
people
no
have
one's
been in
been-
here.
yeah.
So if you
I guess
booked
it's summer
it,
as well, isn't it? So no one's really using the rooms,
No.
are they?
yeah, you could just probably go and get the key from the facilities.
Yeah, and I'm friends with them all as well, so
Ah.
they're
Yeah. Meditation room.
Man, it's so nice. Are these your lights though?
Yeah, we brought these lights in. Yeah.
And we have to like buy some lights and stuff. It's cute as fuck.
Oh, well, thank you so much for
Thank
being on
you
the
very
podcast.
much.
Thank you, Gemma, for co-hosting.
You're
Gemma
welcome.
Freese, everyone, and Lara
Yeah, man.
Jones. Thank you. This has
yeah.
been the second podcast, and we'll see you next week. Bye.